Hey, so if you're not quite ready for St. Patrick's Day, we have a few items here to help get you in the spirit. My favorite, though, this guy is what we call a Monty and Feed, or Hands in Faith, and you might recognize some things from the Claddagh ring. You've got the hands for friendship and the heart for love. These guys just don't have the crown. The hands actually clasp around the heart. So it's 3 little individual rings that are riveted together in the back. The tag's kind of in the way. But there's your heart, and then your hands clasp over it. And we didn't forget the guys. So, you know, if your finger's as big as my eyeball, we got you covered. This is a size 14. I think I actually have a couple of 15s too. And we've got an open weave Celtic knot too that I like. We've also got some older pieces, this shamrock, which is fun. We've got a griffin with the Celtic knot. So the first thing, of course, that comes to my head at least is, you know, the Harry Potter Gryffindor stuff. Maybe that's just me, but I thought that was cool. And this shows better on the finger than it does on the thing, but it's smaller than my finger size, so, but pretty cool. I like the malachite. The Celtic knot, the big tradition is, of course, that interweaving pattern. The Book of Kells is probably your most famous example. That thing is full of knotwork. In fact, my wedding ring, when we went to Ireland and went to see the Book of Kells, they only leave it open to one page, and I guess periodically they turn the page. But the border on it that day that we were there was this, and it stuck with me. And so that's how I came up with the pattern for my wedding ring. This was, do I admit this, 30 years ago. And Celtic rings weren't a thing back then. Most of it was, you know, just the carved stone and the art. And then it finally made its way into jewelry. And now you can find a lot of different things that are done with the Celtic knot. You know, these earrings have a great little bit of, you know, the interweaving, not too complicated, still pretty cool, all the way up to the more, you know, where they've got it all over the cross ring. So these are malachite, just like this guy is. And of course, this guy's fun. You know, the green and orange for the flag done on the shamrock. I don't know if you guys can see from here, but and then there's a little Celtic cross in the middle of the shamrock. That's actually one of my faves too. That's why I have a whole store, because I have a lot of favorites. Let's just be honest. I don't know what I would do if I didn't have a store to justify everything that I buy. These guys are, I mean, they're set in silver. They were for the tourist industry. They're synthetic emerald in this case, peridot in this case, lapis, once again, that synthetic emerald. Because everybody wants that bright green, but most of the time you don't see the natural emerald in silver. Now, sometimes you will in the gold. And I have had these in gold, the Claddagh rings and things, but they go fast. They're grown in a lab. You know, you get nice, bright, uniform color for not a lot of money now. It's just like what happened with the diamonds. Originally, when they started lab growing diamonds, they were expensive because you've got all the R&D to pay for. It's the same deal here. If you go back and look at the filigree jewelry from the teens and 20s, and they have these tiny little bright blue sapphires or rubies or emeralds, they're all synthetic. They're not natural, but they were the new thing. They were the hot new thing. They just figured out how to do it. And they actually cost more than a natural at the beginning. And of course, you can see what's happened, and that's what's going to happen with the diamonds too. It's actually starting to happen already. I love St. Patrick's Day. I love going to the parade. I love seeing all of the people wearing all of the crazy things that they never wear the rest of the year. But these guys, you can wear the rest of the year and not look crazy. So come in, get a few pieces, and enjoy that St. Patrick's luck, and cheer the rest of the year.